Today we're going to review over the STX Superpower Plus. So as you can see, the Superpower Plus has a very gradual face shape, similar to like a Warrior Evolution head, where for the most part it's gradual out the entire face shape. It's going to make catching really easy, and it's going to give you a pretty nice ball control. Also, the head is universal. The scoop on the STX Superpower Plus is probably one of my favorite parts of the head, just because the scoop is so smooth and it's also pretty flat. It makes getting ground balls on natural grass and both turf pretty easy. A lot easier than I think than the original Superpower. The original one had that really annoying lip. So here I have an original Superpower, and as you can see on the scoop, there is that really annoying lip. Doesn't seem like much, but it catches on grass and dirt. Very easy. But compared to the Superpower Plus, as you can see, it's a lot less profound. Also on the Superpower Plus, as you can see, it retains that scallop scoop, which I really like. Removes a little bit of plastic, which gives you a little bit more flex when you're shooting, which is nice, and also decreases a little bit of weight. So just like all the other heads in the Proton and Superpower family, this one has that single strut, which is really just enough to give it enough stiffness. It's not a super stiff head, but it does keep certain parts of the head stiffer than the others. Also looks like they added a little bit of C-channel in the sidewall strut, which is really cool. And on the bottom rail, they have C-channel, a lot more profound though, and it goes all throughout the head. So my STX Superpower Plus is strung up with Laxtrum X Pro Mesh, which we have a review on. Also gave it kind of a mid to mid-high pocket, which is really nice. It also has a pretty nice channel, as you can see. I have 2 straights in here and a nylon. So I think that you should string this head with a little bit more whip than normal. It's going to help to counterbalance out that weird flex that this head tends to get very often when you're shooting from the outside. Also, the Superpower Plus has what looks like a little bit more offset than the original one did. Also, with it having the STX forward cant offset, which as you can see it kind of cants right here, it's going to push more for that mid to mid-high pocket. Overall, I really like the throat on the Superpower Plus. It has their raised island ball stop, even though it's not as profound as previous models. There are cutouts on 3 sides of the head, which are going to help to reduce weight. And also another thing I really like is that there are 2 screw holes, which are going to help with eliminating head wobble. It has 4 large and well-placed top string holes that are going to be big enough for leathers. Also with the scallop scoop, it makes it easy to do triangle top strings and similar top strings like that. So the head has 15 sidewall holes that go all the way down on the head, but personally I think that the last one is more of a bottom string hole. Because of the way the island ball stop is set up, I'd like to count the outer 2 as bottom string holes. The holes are a good size and they're also well placed. There isn't a ton like on the other heads, but there is just enough to really get any pocket that you would like. This being a Superpower, which is kind of more of a longer head that pushes more for that mid to maybe mid-high pocket, I think that type of pocket works best in this head personally. So there are 4 bottom string holes. The 2 ones are a little bit more profound and easier to see. They sit right on the island ball stop, and the 2 on the outside are just kind of tucked away in the C-channel, which is one thing I really don't like about stringing this head, is that the C-channel goes all the way down the head, which as you can see can make it really hard to tie if your knots right to the sidewall hole, which is something that I really don't like. Just for reference, the STX Superpower Plus weighs 4.5 ounces or 4.5 ounces, which is just a little bit lighter than the original Superpower that came in at 4.7 ounces. For being in the Superpower family, this head is actually pretty durable, especially when compared to the previous model of the Superpower. It incorporates 2 STX technologies, one being ACP and the other one being C-channel. The ACP allows it to stay stiff in hot weather, but keep it from getting too brittle in the colder weather, which I think works pretty well, especially in the heat. The C-channel goes along the bottom rail, which comes from the STX Stallion head. The C-channel mimics an I-beam, which is going to remove a little bit of weight but still keep it just as durable and stiff. The bottom rail does flex a little bit, but I think it is a little bit more rigid than the STX Stallion U550. Also, the head is extremely stiff down here. It's actually incredible how stiff it is down here in this lower portion of the throat. It really doesn't flex at all. Up towards the top though, it does have a little bit of flex, but not as much as the previous model did. Also, the scoop does have a little bit of flex. I really don't like how the scoop flexes personally in this head though. I think it really can throw off shots that are shot extremely fast. Normally over 80 miles an hour, the head will flex slightly inwards, which is kind of annoying, and it will cause your shot to fly over the goal. That is if you shoot overhand. But if you were to shoot sidearm, expect the ball to sometimes fly more to the outside than towards the inside, which would mimic a high whip stick. So overall, the STX Super Power Plus is a terrible head for face-offs, mostly because it is so stiff down here. It's almost as stiff as like a Brine Triumph or something like that. The head really doesn't flex at all down here, which for a face-off guy is really where you want it to flex. Also, with it being the ACP plastic, which is designed to keep it stiff, and same thing with the C-channel technology, which is also designed to keep the head stiff. It's just really not made for face-offs. I think that the STX Dual is a far better choice for face-off guys. I think it will work very well for attackmen and midfielders, as long as you don't shoot from the outside. If you shoot from the outside, you will experience that weird backwards flex that this head tends to get very often. Anybody that lets you shoot inside or is a mid-range shooter, this is a really good option. It is a longer head, so it does have that natural accuracy, very similar to the previous model. Honestly, I think that this head is stiff enough to be used by a DMD or even an LSM, but that's really it. This head really wouldn't work very well on a long pole or a close defender, just because I don't think that the head would hold up over time. So overall, I think that the STX Super Power Plus is an awesome head. It's definitely better than the previous model, and also I think that it fits the $100 price tag pretty well. It features both of STX's highest end technologies, both being ACP and C-channel technology, all in at $100, which is very nice. Personally, I think that this is the best head in the STX lineup because it is stiffer than the Stallion U 550, and it's also a little bit more durable than the Surgeon 10 500. So personally, if you're a offensive player, maybe DMD looking for something a little bit different, want a little bit more natural accuracy, I think that this is a really awesome head and you should definitely check it out. So guys, if you enjoyed my review of the STX Super Power Plus, be sure to like the video and also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and thanks for watching.